The first thing I would strongly suggest to do is find an ASO professional that will help you with this critical part in order to see success. They will show you which keywords you should try to rank for in the app stores. Also, the amount of competition for each keyword is important to know as well here. The SEO for the app stores is called ASO, or App Store Optimization. You can expect to get a 2 times to 10 times increase in downloads and revenue if you put the time into ASO and follow these tips. You might not see an overnight impact, but trust me, over time you will see a big difference. You always have to be testing and experimenting with your keywords so you keep ranking well, because your competition is always changing, and so is the ecosystem of the App Store. ASO is time consuming with constant monitoring and is a process that needs to be constantly tweaked over time. Retention, I feel, is the #1 most misrepresented ASO technique, and here's why. Without retention, a lot of the other ASO strategies tend to fall to the wayside. Retention here is described as something about your app makes the user keep coming back to play over and over again, logging in many hours per month. We know the app stores take this retention rate into consideration when ranking your app's keywords. Retention weighs heavily now in how your keywords rank. Therefore, you should always focus on your app's retention rate, because the app stores do today. All the huge popular mobile app companies perform such soft launches in the UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand first to test their retention rates before hitting the United States. This way, your retention rate is on the mark, and all the other bugs and problems have been rectified during your soft launch. Then, when you are ready for the main launch in the United States, your retention rate is at its highest, and you'll have much greater success. App Store search is one of the very first critical steps to increasing your downloads organically. This is where your future customers type hopefully your keyword or keyword phrases into the App Store search engine, and your app shows up so the customer can easily see it and check it out. This is where you have to think like a customer and not an app developer. It's very important to pick and choose the right keywords or keyword phrases you want to target for your app. The app title should contain the keyword as well as the description. The description has to intrigue your customer, so make it interesting and make it sound fun too. To sum it up, the following 3 are super important, and we will result in a big increase in downloads for months to years to come. They are keywords or phrases, your app title, and your app description. If for some reason your downloads don't increase, there are a number of reasons for this. One could be there's just too much competition for that keyword, and so you'll need to choose another less competitive keyword or category to see if that remedies the download situation. You then need to make a professional icon for your app. Try to make it stand out with a 3D border and colors that make it stand out against the App Store background. Next important step is to take eye-candy, high-res screenshots to help sell your app to the masses. The final step here is you better make your app very engaging. What I mean by that is you want the customer who just downloaded your app to not only spend time throughout the day, but keep them engaged or coming back. You want them to keep opening your app up on a daily basis and spending a lot of time inside your app. Why are these factors so very important? Because these are considered ranking factors in the App Store algorithm that helps propel your app higher in the App Store rankings. So start your keyword analysis first and see what you're up against first. I have recommendations for you if you want an ASO professional to handle all this for you. I can't stress this enough, how super important your ASO is done correctly in order to increase your downloads on a daily basis for the long term. You must please your customers with the most positive or more positive reviews you can achieve, the more downloads will follow. If you follow just these few steps alone, you're going to have a few hundred more downloads per day. Again, it bears repeating here, if you aren't getting the increase in downloads, you have to step back and see whether it's your choice of keywords or possibly it's your competitive category. Always split test and keep records of your changes. Always change one thing at a time when split testing here. For example, change only the keyword and keep the app title, app description, and category the same. Then see what happens. Then change just the app title, which should have your keyword in it, and see if downloads increase or decrease or stays the same. Use this process until you get a favorable response. Be sure to check the recommended links below. Okay, I'll see you in the next lecture.